everyone. Today I have my co-star here with me, James, and that's because one of you, Leah to be more specific, requested that I do a new facts about me video. I did one probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I think it was 25 random facts about me. It might have even been longer than that.
That's a lot of facts.
It sure is. But if you would like to know those facts, then I'll put it in the description if I remember, or in the cards. But the thing is, even though it was a while ago, it's still hard to come up with a whole lot of random facts about yourself that people don't know.
Yes.
So I thought it would be challenging to come up with another 20 myself. So I've enlisted James to also share some with you. So you're getting 10 from me and 10 from him, because there's no way I was going to come up with 20 for myself. And I don't even know if the ones I have are going to be that interesting, but we'll give it a whirl. So since he's my guest, I'll let James give you his. We're going to alternate. So
yes.
James will give one, then I'll give one, but he can go first.
All right,
I'm
perfect.
excited because we don't know what each other's are, so we're going to learn stuff about each other too.
Mine probably aren't that fantastic of facts. So my first fact, very small, simple to the point, is I have never broken a bone in my body. I know a lot of people at some point in their lives break a foot or an arm or something of some sorts, but I myself have never broken a bone, and I hope to continue that trend for the rest of my life.
Right, that's a good one. Okay, my first fact is that I have been in a chokey numerous times, and for those of you who aren't familiar with the chokey, watch any Matilda movie or read the Roald Dahl Matilda book, because it is a contraption that the Trunchbull, who is the villain in that story, creates for her students to go in, and it's basically like a little box with a bunch of spikes. And you might be saying, Erin, why in the heck would you go in something like that? Well, when I was in elementary school, I was in the Matilda play, and I played a bad child. I know, hard to believe, isn't it? And I kept doing naughty things, so I kept getting put in the chokey, and it really messed with my character. But yeah, that's my fact for you.
I like it. That's a good one.
Okay. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Sorry. I also have some pictures of me after the Matilda play with some of the cast and signing autographs, so I will put some of those up for you.
Ooh, I like it. Very nice. I can't wait to see him myself. I haven't seen him, so. All right. Fact number 2 for me. My second fact is that my house has been hit by a tornado before. While living in Oklahoma, our house was hit by a tornado. Actually, the biggest tornado ever recorded in history. Of course, it's not like something to brag about by any means, but just a random fact about myself. Being in a tornado, our house got hit, our neighborhood got hit. Luckily, everybody around us was safe, so that was good. But yes, one of the many reasons why I moved up to New England. Don't have to worry about as many tornadoes. And if there are tornadoes, they're not as big as the ones that you find down in Oklahoma. So, and of course, being up here, I got to meet Erin, so that just makes it that much better.
That's so sweet. But and I was going to say about tornadoes is, yeah, we have warnings here occasionally, but it's nothing like, because Oklahoma's part of Tornado Alley, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
every town has, well, yeah, the whole state has tornado sirens, and every Sunday at 12 o'clock noontime, they test the sirens out. And living in Oklahoma, you get used to it, but I had a cousin who came down to visit, and Sunday came around, and then the tornado sirens started going off, and they were a little confused. They're like, oh my God, is there a tornado? But then they looked outside, and it was sunny outside, so it kind of confused them. But yes, a lot more common down in Oklahoma than up here.
Yeah, I can imagine if I went there and heard that, I'd be like, what the heck's going on?
Just these random sirens going off.
Okay, my number 2 is that in most of middle school and my freshman year of high school, I played field hockey. And I was the sweeper, which is basically the last defensive position before goalie. And I liked it in middle school. It's one of the only sports I played, because I did not have a competitive nature, and I was not assertive when it came to sports or anything like that. But I liked it, and once I got to high school, I did it freshman year, but then I didn't continue after that, mainly because I kind of had to choose between doing drama and sports, and I bet you can't guess I went with drama, not sports. So, but yeah, field hockey is primarily the only sport I played in my younger years, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, well, hey, I have never played field hockey in any means. It wasn't something that they did down
Isn't
in
it just a girls'
Oklahoma.
sport, I think? I've never heard of
Well,
boys
guys play
doing
like lacrosse. That's not
lacrosse,
really
yeah.
field, but but they don't even play that down in Oklahoma.
Really?
No, they don't have lacrosse, and well, maybe they do. I don't know. I graduated 20 years ago, so maybe they've added it by now.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely gained popularity up here, even because when I was younger, it wasn't super popular, but I know my oldest brother played it in high school, but now it seems like it's as popular as soccer, like everybody does
yeah.
it. So.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I've never played it before, but Erin did, and that's a cute little fact about her.
Oh, thanks.
All right. So my third fact is that I have been skydiving. I've actually gone twice before, and I know it's something Erin has no desire whatsoever to ever do. But I myself, I would like to do it again, and I would like to get to the point where I actually can jump out of the plane myself without having someone on my back to like pull the cord and everything.
Oh,
So
that's how Sir feels about
Duncan don't like it either. But it's something I've always wanted to do. Interesting fact that I've done it, and something that I would like to do in the future. Erin can just stay on the ground and cheer me on from the ground.
Yes, I'll just be on the ground nervous till he gets back down.
But yeah, that's my third interesting fact.
All right. My third is that as a child, I did some amateur modeling. I was by no means a model, but if you grew up around the 90s, this might have been a thing for you too. So stores like Limited To, I think Fashion Bug also did it, would let children, because you weren't getting paid anything, so it wasn't like against child labor laws or anything, and I think you got like a discount off their clothes or something. But you would basically go and pick out some outfits, and these were all stores that I was shopping at anyway. I say shopping at, my mom was paying for the clothes, but she took me to these stores. And basically you would act like a mannequin in the window. So you'd be in like the Limited To window display, and I think you did it for a couple of hours. And so you'd be in one outfit, and you would just kind of freeze and hold a pose and pretend that you're a mannequin until somebody told you to switch, and then you pick a different pose. But it would be kind of funny because people would walk by the window, and it would like take them a second to be like, oh, that's actually a real child,
person?
not like a mannequin, if you could stay still enough. But yeah, so I did that at those stores. And then Sears had a thing where, I don't know if it was a class that was involved or what, but you would go to Sears at your mall, and they would again give you Sears clothes to wear, and I think you did change to like 3 different outfits for that. I think you'd have like casual wear and then like a dressy outfit, and I don't know what the other one was, but and they had a runway. I'm sorry if you hear toys in the background. Duncan has decided that this would be a grand time for him to play very noisily, because you know, as you've seen in these videos, if he's not the focus, he's gonna make himself be. So if you hear little balls clanging around, that's Duncan. And now I lost my train of, yeah, they put a runway out in front of like the entrance to the Sears, the mall, and you would, I think they played music and would like describe like, this is Erin, she is wearing our latest flower dress, I don't know. And, you know, so they described the outfit, and people would start to gather and crowd around, which I don't know how I did and wasn't like super nervous, because now the idea of that would make me like, no, don't look at me. So, but yeah, it was just some fun, different experiences that I had as a kid. And again, I don't know if I have pictures. I don't have pictures of the window displays, but I know at some point I had pictures of the Sears runway modeling. So if I can find those, I will include them, but there's a great chance I will not find them, so we will see. And the battery's dying, so now it's a good time to change it. Be right back.
All right, so for my fourth fact, maybe some of you have heard this before. I don't know if it's been talked about in past videos that Erin may have had, but before moving to New England, I was in the Army. I served in the Army for 8 years, active duty. I was stationed in Germany, Kansas, Oklahoma, did a tour in Iraq, and yeah, it was something when I was about 21, I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. Should I go to college? Should I do this? I have no idea. So I decided, hey, let's see what the military has in store for me. I went to a Air Force recruiter. The Air Force didn't want me at the time. Oh well, so I go to an Army recruiter. Well, thankfully, the Army takes anybody.
Oh no!
So I ended up joining the Army, and 8 years passed. Finally, by that time, I was like, you know what? It's been a good time, but I could do another 12 years and retire, but I was ready to kind of go back to the civilian world and all that goes along with it. So, but yeah, that's my interesting fact. Army guy. That's probably why I shave my head to this day.
Oh, well, it suits you, and we thank you for your service, babe.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. My number 4 fact is not such a fun one. And that's that in my lifetime, when I was younger, not recently, I've had both pneumonia and mono. And I don't recommend either. I can remember pneumonia was when I was a younger child, and I just felt like this is death. I'm dying. Like, this is the worst thing I've ever felt. And then mono, I got my senior year of high school. Still to this day, don't know how. I know how they refer to that illness, but I don't know how I got it. And that one just wipes you out. Like, you're just tired all the time. I had to very much ease back into going into school. It was like weeks, maybe even a month before I was like feeling back to normal. So yeah, stay healthy, everyone.
All right. So for my fifth fact, so like Erin, I used to be an amateur model myself. That being said, it had nothing to do with stores or anything like that. It all had to do with me being young and my sister and my babysitter dressing me up in women's clothing and then calling me Liz. So that's my modeling. My modeling story is that when I used to get babysitted by my sister and by my babysitter and my sister still being there, they would dress me up in women's clothing and they would call me Liz. And it's something I still remember to this day, and that's probably why I'm so broken inside.
No.
I'm kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. But no, it's funny, and me and my sister, we still laugh about it to this day. So
Was it like they wanted to like dress you up like a doll kind of thing?
kind of, sort of, yeah. Dress me up like a doll, make me look all pretty and stuff. And Liz was a knockout.
Oh, I'm sure, but they just like the name Liz.
I don't know. I truthfully don't know exactly how we came up with that name, but if you can picture it, people, Liz.
Well,
You're looking at Liz right now.
James, you need to see if you have a picture of that and share it with us.
Oh gosh, we might. I'll have to go look in the archives somewhere, but if we
can
do,
find it, we will share it.
I'll
with
show you a Liz picture.
I'm pretty sure as a kid, my friend and I did that to my brother. We made him put makeup on one day or something. And you were a good sport and he was a good sport for putting up with that because a lot of boys as children would not want to do that.
No,
so.
I was all for it.
Okay, my next fact is probably going to come as no surprise to anyone that's watched any video of mine. And that's that I've always loved a good murder mystery, to the point that I believe it was I was in 6th grade, so I don't know if I was turning it was like probably 12, 13-ish. I had a murder mystery birthday party, and I have not only pictures but video from that, and I'll see what I can include for you. I had to dress up as a boy character because I did not have enough people to come, so girly girl me had to be a boy for that one, but it was still a fun murder mystery, and we had a great time.
Oh, well, I would have been there had I known you back then. I would have done a murder mystery with you.
That's very sweet.
All right, for my sixth fact, I know this is going to be shocking to the world, but I do not drink coffee. Yet. I put yet on here just to say so. But no, people, especially
No pressure. Nobody's pressuring you to drink.
no one's pressuring me to drink coffee, but even being in the army, I never drank coffee. I've always somewhat had a natural energy when I wake up in the mornings. You give me about 5-10 minutes, and usually I'm pretty much wide awake by that point. Still be yawny. I might yawn here or there, but I don't feel exhausted and oh man, I need caffeine. And yeah, so it's just something that I haven't picked up. I say yet because the fact that I'm going into teaching and I'll be a teacher. I know how much energy you can is used when you have to teach a bunch of kids throughout the whole day, every day for the week and stuff like that. So you never know. I might end up picking up the habit at some point, but at this moment, no, I am currently not a coffee drinker.
Well, I have to say it's nice that you wake up with a natural energy because I wish that was the case for me. But, all right, let's see. Funny enough, number 6 for me is, wait, you're on number 6.
Yes.
Yeah. Number 6 for me is the same as James' number 1 in that I've never broken a bone. Oh. And I did sprain my ankle once. It was iffy if it was a sprain or a hairline fracture, but as far as I remember, it was just a really bad sprain. And it happened in a sledding incident as a child. I want to say I was 9 or 10, and I went with my friend and her dad. And they had, I want to say it was like a toboggan type sled, but I don't know if that's the proper name. So if I can find a picture of one, I'll show you. But it could fit 3 people on it. So we were all going down this big sledding hill together. Unfortunately, you know, we're in New England. It's bumpy terrain, even with snow. So we hit a bump and went launching. Except that everybody landed on Erin. So I landed awkwardly on my ankle. Sledding day was ruined because Erin had to go to the hospital, and but no, it turned out fine. And hey, if that's the worst thing, I hope that we both never have a broken bone and we continue to be able to say that for the rest of our lives. That would be nice.
Yes.
So we have that in common, which I didn't know.
Oh, look at us. We're just a match made in heaven.
Oh, we are.
All right, for my 7th fact, nothing crazy again, but this one, so I used to, I was in the band. I was in the junior high and high school band. I like to say that I was a band nerd, and I proudly stick by that claim. But no, yeah, so growing up, my parents wanted us to kind of find something to do. I wasn't very good at sports. I love watching sports, but I wasn't the best at playing them. Baseball, terrible, freaked me out. Baseballs to the face. That's another story for another time. But no, so they wanted us to find something. My sister, she ended up picking up the clarinet, and I myself decided to do percussion, which is drums and everything that goes with the percussion instruments in band. That being said, I loved it. I loved being in band. It was my favorite class, junior high and high school. The people I got to meet that were in band with me, the stuff we got to do, playing Friday nights at the football games. It was always exciting for me. And it's something I've wanted to pick back up. Maybe not be in a high school band, because no, I can't do that. But play an instrument again. I've thought about the drums before, but gosh, they're just so loud and they're big, and we're going to need a house if I ever want to do that. But I've also had an inkling to want to play the saxophone. I have never played it before, but it is something that's kind of piqued my interest in the last year or two. So yeah, hopefully one of these days I'll be able to get on here with Erin and I can play you guys a little saxophone piece.
There you go.
It's gonna be a little bit, but we'll get to it at some point.
Yes, once you've taken some lessons and feel pretty good, you can share a saxophone song with them.
There you go. Everyone loves a good saxophone solo.
Number 7 is my first job. My first job was working in a hospital. I worked in the food service, so they I don't know what it would be called now, but then they called it a dietary aide. So basically, I would go after school, and it could be different every day, but dependent on what station they put you on. So you could be on, I think they called it tray pass, basically where you take the food, like the dinners, to the patients. Or you could be on like the line where like they fill the beverages and they serve out the food. They never put me on that one for some reason. I was always giving the food to the patients, or they had another one, which didn't happen every time, but like if the hospital bigwigs were having a party, you'd go up to like the high floor and take them like cakes and coffees and things. And occasionally I might, if they needed someone, I might be out where like the public gets their food. But I wasn't at that too often either. For the most part, I passed out trays to the patients, which was always interesting because with all my jobs, I'm not a super speedy worker. So, and that was one that was kind of under a little bit of a time constraint. So I was always feeling like, okay, got to get this done by a certain time. And then I remember another challenge being like when you go into somebody's room and you want to put the tray of food down. But of course, as everyone does, they've got their stuff all over the little table, so you gotta try to like finagle that. And then the other part but they would teach you, like you had to learn like the hospital codes, like code black, code red, code blue, so you'd know if there was like something that affected you. But then also when you're going to certain rooms, they'd have things outside the door that like, don't go in that room because it's like a biohazard or whatever. So those were things you'd have to look out for too. This explanation got way longer than I was expecting, but that was my first job. It was a unique and interesting job, not the most uplifting job, so I didn't stay there for a super long time, but it was a good introduction for me to the workforce.
Awesome, I like it. Quick note, my first job was McDonald's and I lasted 2 weeks. So I give props to Erin. She probably lasted a lot longer than just 2 weeks.
I think it was at least a year.
Well, see, there you go. Yeah, I made it 2 weeks at McDonald's. And
I gotta say that, I don't know anyone besides you personally who's worked at McDonald's, and I'm not saying anything about McDonald's workers, but I don't know that I'd last very long at McDonald's either. It seems like a difficult job.
Yeah, well, I was 16 and I was, 15, 16, and yeah, I just, it wasn't the job for me.
Yeah,
but,
I can understand.
But it can be a difficult job, and the people that do it, they deserve all the respect in the world, because having to deal with customer after customer all day, because you know how much us Americans, we love our fast food.
Gotta get it quick.
Gotta get it quick. But anyway, so, all right, we are on, what number are we on? Number 8? We are on number 8. My number 8 fact, it's a terrible one. I should have done better of coming up with better facts.
No, it's hard.
It really is. But my fact, I think I talked a little bit earlier about it, but not originally being from New England, I grew up most of my life down in Oklahoma. I don't know if any of you can hear any accent. I have never thought I had any type of Oklahoma accent in any way, but Erin says I do have in a little bit. I have like a little bit of one. Maybe I do. Like I tell her, most of the time when I catch it is like when I'm saying y'all or something like that. But no. So my dad was in the Air Force before I was born. And then once I was born, he stayed in the Air Force for a little bit longer. We moved around to a couple of states. But by the time I was going into 4th grade, he decided to get out of the Air Force. We had some friends who lived down in Oklahoma, and they had a VA hospital down there because my dad was a nurse and he was offered a job at the hospital in Oklahoma City. So we moved down there, and I pretty much lived there from 4th grade all the way through, even through me being in the Army, even though I didn't live in Oklahoma the whole time I was in the Army. That's where my parents still lived, and that's where I would go visit. I actually was stationed in Oklahoma at one point. It was my last station that I was at before getting out of the Army. But yeah, so I mean, I did all that, and now I moved up here to New England. Currently living in Maine. Gonna be moving down to New Hampshire in about a little few weeks to a month. About a few
By
weeks.
the time this video goes up, it may have happened.
By the time this video ends, I'll probably be living here. So, but yeah. So interesting fact about me: I'm an Oklahoman by technicality, because I lived there for most of my life.
Okay. All right, number 8. I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I don't think I have. And so I thought it'd be a fact to share with you. I do not have any tattoos, not a one, and I don't plan to probably ever get any. There you go.
Easy enough. And she married a guy that has 5 or 6. I can't remember how many I have, but
I'm trying, I can think of 4, but I must be missing some.
I got one on my leg.
Oh, the leg, I forgot the leg.
One here, one here, one here.
Okay.
And then one on my back.
See, I missed some. I don't know.
Yeah, but I myself would like to get maybe one or two more tattoos in my life, but other than that, I don't have any plans to ever like cover my body or get like giant sleeves or anything, because being a teacher, of course, it's not that you can't have tattoos, but I don't need to be having them like on my neck or my face or anything, or on my hands, anything
Erin's
like that.
not a big fan of that look, so she appreciates that.
Yes, she likes her men to be humble and wearing polo shirts.
No, that's not true. Somewhat clean cut.
I try to be
much.
as clean as possible.
I don't mean it clean. Forget it.
Well, clean cut as in.
Just like in other words, you could be considered clean cut because you wear like, not like crazy flashy print clothes.
Yeah.
You're not covering your entire skin in tattoos
Yes.
and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Well, like I said, maybe one of these days I might get another one or two. But Erin, I think she's gonna stay tattoo free unless I really, really, really somehow can talk her into it. Which in a way I kind of feel like I could, but we'll worry about that once time comes.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Random fact number 9 for me. So maybe it's not completely about me, but so I was saying earlier, my dad was in the Air Force. One of the bases that we were stationed at was what was it called? Yeah, sorry. I thought it was Griffith Air Force Base, but no, it's Griffiths Air Force Base, and it was in Rome, New York. Why it's an interesting fact? Well, Woodstock 99 was actually held on the base that we used to live on. By the time Woodstock 99 came around, the base had already been closed, so of course that's why they were able to fit a couple 100,000 people there. But no, so I always thought it was an interesting fact, like, oh, I used to live there, because I think back in 1999 when I probably was watching Woodstock 99 on MTV at the time or something. But I thought it was interesting. I was like, hey, I used to live on that base. So yeah, interesting fact.
So did they turn the base into something else, or just the land was there so they had the Woodstock there?
I don't know if they've turned it into anything
Might just be
else. I mean, a
open
lot
land.
of it can be like overgrown and
Okay.
stuff, and like there might still be buildings and like houses there that are just like abandoned
Okay,
now.
that's too bad.
But I'm not 100% sure on that. There might be parts of the base that are still open. I don't know. It's been so long since I lived there. But all I do know is that's where they held the second Woodstock. Not the first one, the second one. First one was better.
Okay, I wouldn't know. I haven't seen either. But if you,
I saw the other one. I saw the first one on video. I didn't see it in person. I'm not that old.
You weren't born then. What was I gonna say? If you happen to live in Rome, New York, and know what happened to that place, let us know.
Yes, very much so. Please.
All right, number 9, kind of going back similar to another one of James, is that I have lived in my home state of New Hampshire my entire life, other than the few years I went away to college in Long Island, New York. I have thought about living other places, and it's just never happened. And as much as you know I don't like cold in winter, I do like it here. It's a really great state to live. We have a lot of good things about it in terms of you can go to the mountains and the beach in the same day. You can travel the entire state in the same day. In just a couple hours. No sales tax, no income tax. So there you go. It's a great place to live in, at least for the foreseeable future. This is where we're gonna be.
Yes. All right. Well, we are down to our final facts. For my 10th final fact, it is a fact, and maybe I just wanted to be a little bit cheesy too. But my final fact is on June 12th of this year, which is actually in a not too far away from now, a little over a month and a half from now. But I get to marry the most beautiful woman in the world, and that's the woman next to me. And,
Man, I was not expecting this. I'm gonna cry.
Oh, well, like I said, it's a fact because it's happening, and it's the best fact on my sheet. So,
Thank you.
so yes, I get to be cheesy and all romantic right there. So
I love it. I was not expecting that. Now I gotta get through my fact. Okay, my final fact is that the furthest I have traveled is to Europe, more specifically Italy, and I think I was in elementary school at the time, so I was 9, 10, 11, I don't remember the exact age, but I was young. And I enjoyed going there, but I would definitely like to do more traveling, especially to other European countries or even back to Italy. I would like to do more international travel at some point.
definitely, no, I would too. Europe. I've always wanted to take a trip to Vietnam, but that's gonna be that's like a super big trip. But no, Europe. Of course, like I was saying earlier, I did live in Germany for a couple of years while I was stationed in the Army. I got to do some traveling around, not as much as I wanted to. So, yeah, plenty of opportunities for us to travel the world together. And next thing you know, we'll be traveling vloggers. I'd love to travel more with Erin, and I know we are going to do a lot more traveling as time goes on. But just so much, we're so busy at the moment that the trips are going to have to be put on the back burner for a little bit because I'm graduating, then I'm going to be moving in with Erin, then we're getting married, and I'll be starting a new career. I'll be starting a new career. So it's exciting, a little stressful at times, but I couldn't imagine anyone I'd rather spend the rest of my life with, so.
Oh, thank you. I feel the same. But yes, all good, exciting, fun things that just happen to be happening very close together, but we'll get through them one at a time. Not get through them, I shouldn't say that, because they are good, happy things. We will enjoy them each.
Tolerate them.
We'll enjoy them each one at a time, and, be happy and have fun, and I can't wait to go on all these trips after that stuff is said and done, and we just have so many good fun times ahead of us, and we can't wait.
Exactly.
And there you go. Those are our 10 facts. So we hope you enjoyed getting to learn a little bit more about us, just some random things we thought we'd share.
Yes.
And we would love it if you would share a random fact about yourself with us in the comments so we can get to know you a little bit better too.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for doing this video with me. It's always more fun when you have someone else to share it with. And as I said, we get to learn things about each other too. So let us know what video you would like us to do next, because it's hard to come up with things. There's only so many questions and things we can answer and share. But yes, thank you for watching, and give it a thumbs up. And what else should they do?
Just have a great day, enjoy your lives, and subscribe. That's what Erin was trying to get me to say. Subscribe to her channel. Don't subscribe to mine because I don't have one. So just subscribe to hers.
By subscribing to mine, you're subscribing to James as well. So
yes.
There you go. But have a wonderful day, and
yes.
we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.